I am so excited to welcome Miss Lainey Wilson of Pure Country.
Friend.
How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. And I am so excited about this new album. I just want to start there because I just finished driving downtown listening to this album, which I will say, I feel like most people need a warning to like put it on cruise control because there are certain songs that like I was cruising
probably
down the
ring
highway.
finger. You were probably like pedal down.
Yeah, for sure. But like, how fun is it to put out this album? Because I feel like, you know, first record, Bell Bottom Country, that really kind of introduced people to like a full version of Lainey Wilson, top to bottom. What was the feeling like going into recording and writing this album? Were you nervous, or did you feel really kind of settled in your
I
boots?
will tell you, like, of course, like there's a little bit of pressure around trying to follow up something that did really well. Yeah. And, but I also like do good under pressure.
Yes, you
and
do.
I do. We kind of like got down to it. We had to be like, okay, what is it that we're trying to do? What are the things that I want to share now? You know, like what's part two?
Right.
And I think that we did that. I mean, of course, I didn't get the amount of time to write the music that I did for Bell Bottom Country. I mean, I wrote hundreds of songs to get those 12 for that. But with this, it had to just be quality over quantity. And I just tried to be as real as I possibly could and not be scared to kind of color outside the lines a little bit.
It is so good. I mean, when Ring Finger came on, I was like, where are we going here? What is happening? That song's just so fun. And I feel like aside of you, like anyone who's been to a Lainey Wilson concert, like there are so many different sides to what you can do as that's why you are an entertainer.
Thank you for
and
that.
And recognizes that because, I mean, the sky is the limit with you. And that song, I was like, I feel like a Rolling Stones like kind of collab on that would make sense.
Hey, let's call Mick Jagger up.
I mean, you could.
I could.
You could.
I got his number.
What, you do?
He did. He called me.
What?
To talk about what song we wanted to do for the Chicago show.
Did you have his number prior to that?
No,
okay.
I just saw United Kingdom and I was like,
You're like,
yo, Mick. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Watching the video of you two on stage, I was like, how do you keep your cool? I feel like you are really good at keeping your cool, even if maybe inside you're not. Were you freaking out on that stage?
I was freaking out before I went out there.
Okay.
And then, like, once I got out there, it's the Lord. It's got to be him, the Lord himself, because it's almost like my anxiety just kind of, like, goes away.
Okay.
And I just thought, you better remember this moment. Like, do not let your nerves get a hold of you too bad. Like, soak this up so you can remember how this feels.
You've had so many crazy moments like that lately. What do you do to kind of like, even though you maybe don't have enough time to take a break, but to take a break and like soak in one of them before the next one happens?
You have to be very intentional about it. You have to, because I mean, you know how it is. Like you just go from one thing to the next and you're just rocking and rolling and trying to get it done. And try not to get too ahead of yourself, which I feel like I'm doing better with that. Yeah. That's hard for me because I like to be prepared, and
you are a hard worker. So I feel like you're always kind of making the next to-do list.
Yeah. And it's about like being intentional about, even if it's just sitting on your porch having coffee when you're there that one day that week and zooming out and really just being like, man, look how far we've come. And
it's so crazy to look how far from the first time we met just to where we are today.
I know.
Is so cool. I just also have to say thank you for writing the cutest love song about chickens.
I was like, well, I'm dating a duck. I guess I might as well write about a chicken.
The last little, there's a duck right at the end. It was so good. But like, that is something that you as a songwriter, you know, we all know Lainey Wilson obviously very well, the singer, vocalist, entertainer, but you are also such an incredible songwriter. And I feel like that really shows in this album.
Thank you for that.
Did you try anything different as a songwriter, like new rooms that you got into, or?
You know what? I think I realized after playing so many shows the last couple years, I just felt like I knew what was missing at my live shows. And even my band got to play on this record too, and it's almost like they knew. So in the writing room I felt that, and also in the studio, and it was kind of like we were just randomly on the same page about it. And so I wanted to make sure that I showed different sides of me.
Yeah.
And I think we did that.
You did.
I think we did.
So good. Like I don't want every song to end. I'm like,
thank
I want more. And I was so intrigued, not to like rush to the end of the album, but when I saw Whiskey Colored Crayon, I was like, what is she gonna do with this? And like makes us wait till the whole end of the album. And I wanted to skip ahead, but I was like, no, I gotta listen to it from start to finish. And you got me. I was just on my way in, like bawling my eyes out listening to that song, because it's such a storytelling country song that I think is, we've talked about this before, what makes country so special.
Oh my gosh.
What was in your head that day with that song?
Well, it's really crazy how the song idea happened. So I wrote it with Josh Keir and Wyatt McCubbin.
Okay.
And cool. I'm just such a fan of both of those guys. I mean, they can write the hell out of a song.
Yeah.
And Josh, every morning before he does a co-write, he does word exercises. And so he might write several lists of like random things. And so I'm just making this up, but let's just say he wrote a list of things that he hates. And so he maybe wrote turnip greens, whiskey, blah, 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 whatever. And then maybe he wrote a list of things that you can use to create. So maybe he wrote paintbrush. Maybe he wrote colored crayon. And then he kind of like matches the words together to see if anything like an idea strikes.
That's really cool.
And that's how Whiskey Colored Crayon came about, and then we formed the story
around
that.
Wow, that's I've never heard of anything like that before.
Me
that
either.
Is so cool.
Me either.
What would be your crayon color if there was to be a Lainey Wilson crayon?
I think it'd have to be some turquoise.
I was like the rings, something like that.
Turquoise.
What would you call it? Crayola, if you're listening.
Yeah, Crayola.
We need to get some Lainey Wilson crayons.
Oh my gosh, what would it be called?
I mean, I feel like if it wasn't some
like
sort of
Western blue or something.
Okay, Western blue. I like that. You posted pictures on a vacation, not in bell bottoms, which I've never seen like such a riot break out online.
Yep. They're like, she has ankles.
She doesn't just live in bell bottoms all the time.
Surprise.
Is it like, do you feel pressure to put bell bottoms on every time you leave the house? Or is it kind of like, you're kind of like a superhero? Like if you don't have your bell bottoms on, do people even know who you are?
At times, yes. It's really weird. It kind of depends on like where we're at.
Okay.
Now for years, I would not go to the grocery store without my bell bottoms on, because I was trying to like really like hone in on this thing.
Yeah.
If I ran into somebody from the industry in the grocery store, I needed to have my bell bottoms on.
Yeah.
And we just stuck with it for years. But nowadays, I mean, if we are at the airport or whatever, I have on my sweatpants.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of depends.
People probably just expect if they're going to see Lainey Wilson, she's going to be in bell
my
bottoms.
Get up. in my costume.
That's so funny. Have you had like a run-in at an airport with someone who maybe didn't realize it was you and then all of a sudden kind of did?
Well, in Australia, I was getting ice cream, and I think I was in shorts and a bathing suit, and I think after I talked, she was like,
they were like, "You're not from here," and you kind of sound like
Lainey
Lainey
Wilson.
Wilson.
Are you Lainey? I was like, "Yep, it's me."
That's so funny. I did hear I've heard it before in person. Your non-Lainey Wilson Louisiana
It don't even
accent.
feel like me, does it?
It freaks me
scary.
out. When I heard the video, I was like, "Whoa!" But you're so good at it. Would you ever do, because now that you do a little bit of acting, would you ever do an acting role and like ditch the accent? And do you think you could do a whole?
It would take some practice.
Yeah.
But I'm up for a challenge. It would take some practice.
If anyone can do it, it's you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you are Yellowstone next season?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
But, still waiting on that call.
Okay. Well, we manifested this.
We did. So go and put it back out there.
Yes, we're going to put it back out there. But I remember this video you posted when you were first on Yellowstone. You were going into the trailer backstage, and you were like, started in a trailer.
Yeah.
And now you're here in a trailer.
Yeah.
At Yellowstone. What has that journey been like? Just like, would you want to go back and tell younger Lainey when you were in that trailer back at the beginning? Would you want to talk to her about anything, or just let her kind of ride it out?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I would just let her ride it out. I feel like you just kind of got to learn things for yourself. Of course, there were moments where I wanted to speed things up, and I wanted to snap my fingers and have things happen a lot sooner. But looking back on it, I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad that it's played out how it's supposed to, because I think I was supposed to go through more and live more life so I could tell the kind of stories I'm supposed to tell. So I don't think I'd change a thing. I say you better buckle up, girl.
She did. She buckled up. She's here right now. But I feel like it's difficult in this in any industry, but especially in one that like everything is so hyper focused on what you're doing all the time and every part of your life. Is it hard at this point where you're at today to just keep focused on your lane? Because it is hard not to look around at what everybody else is doing. Do you feel like you're in a better place in that sense?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to keep my eyes on the road, you know? Just trying to stay as true to myself as I possibly can, and I don't think you can really go wrong by doing that. I mean, it's not going to end tomorrow, but if it did, we have still done so much and accomplished so much to be proud of, and I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
You are right here with us on Pure Country. So we have Lainey Wilson on Pure Country, and I hosted a festival this year, and they teased a video on the stage, and I was the one that got to reveal it to everyone. It was like 8 seconds long, and there's like a pair of pants on a bed, and everybody freaked out. It was like 5 seconds, and we obviously didn't tell them who it was.
Yeah.
But we are telling them who it is. So you are playing at Cavendish Beach Music Festival next year with Shania Twain.
Which is crazy.
But it was also crazy that they knew. Like, we said nothing. There was no music, just like pants on a bed. And they knew it was you. Is that wild to you that, like, that is such a statement that people instantly just go, like, oh, my God, it's her?
I love that. I think that's awesome. Actually, somebody was telling me and Mandolin, my manager, a while back, like, when you think of an icon, which one day we hope and pray that we could be, you can, like, imagine their silhouette. So you think of Dolly, like you would know her, you would know Johnny Cash, you would know Elvis, and so
you would know Lainey Wilson.
I'll take it.
You would.
I'll take it.
Is it cool to see two iconic females in country music headlining a country music festival? That's pretty damn cool.
That's pretty damn cool.
It is.
I mean, she's such an influence of mine, and
for sure.
I used to jump on the bed in my leopard and do the little half up, half down ponytail on my head, and
that's amazing.
She's been real sweet to me too.
Well, maybe we need to like get you guys together on the stage while you're both there.
Let's do it.
Redo that on the bed
Let's
moment.
do it. Let's do it. Let's jump on the bed.
All right. Well, so good to see you guys.
You too, sister.
Whirlwind, such an incredible album. Lainey Wilson on Pure Country.